Hi, in this video we are going to continue working in Illustrator and work on creating some lines. So what you need to do to start this activity is to open up the document that's titled CreatingLines.ai. So that should be in Classroom. Go ahead and open that up. We're going to do the same thing. In order to view this entire thing in the window, we are going to go to View, Fit All in Window. And there we go. I'm going to choose my line segment tool, which is right here. If your tools are all in one line, it should be, in a similar location or just a little bit further down. You can set your colors to the default, which is white fill, black stroke. And now all I'm going to do is click. I can see my smart guides pop up. Now mine says center right now. I want my trunk to be in the center for this one. I'm going to click and drag down. If I just click and drag, I can go unconstrained. If I want to constrain my line to every 45 degrees, so right now I can go at any angle. If I hit and hold the shift key, it constrains it to 45 degrees. So I'm going to release it about at the line. You can see my smart guides again where they're saying intersect. That's what I want. So I'll want to release it at about my horizon line, and there we go. We want to increase the size of our trunk by changing that stroke up to 2 points instead of 1. So we're just making our trunk just a little bit thicker. We're going to add 2 more branches. So what we're going to do is we're going to click when our cursor intersects with the trunk. So I'm going to click and drag out a line here, and I'll click and drag out a line up there. You can't see right now because that little gray box is in the way, but mine didn't quite intersect, so I can just move it over by holding down the space bar as I'm creating my shape. If I wouldn't have done that, I could have made my shape and then moved it over after the fact, which would have been perfectly fine. All I'd need to do is choose my selection tool, and now I can move this shape wherever I want it. So if I don't like exactly where I put it, I can change it and move it around. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to bend these branches. So instead of having them just perfectly straight, we're going to have a little bit of a curve to them. So to get there, all I need to do is go to my reshape tool, which is under the scale tool. So you might have to find it. It might be hidden, but you'll be able to find it. So that just looks like this. It's your cursor plus a little arc. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this down. So I can reshape that line however I want. If I want to choose my other line, so I reshaped my first one. If I want to choose this other line over here to reshape, I need to switch to my selection tool, select that one, and go to my reshape tool again. So I could bend this line up or down. It doesn't really make sense to bend it up, but hey, you have that ability now. So if you ever want to bend any other lines, you are able to. So I bend it down, and there we go. I have my 2 bent tree limbs. So that's good for that. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a horizon line. So again, we are going to choose the line segment tool, and we are going to just draw a line at the bottom of everything. So the bottom of the trees, buildings, and that little bush that we have on the right hand side. So I want to draw this line where it intersects so I can see that line, my smart guides popping up. Again, if you don't see your smart guides, you can go to View and then make sure you have a check mark next to smart guides. They're helpful, not completely necessary, but they're helpful for your alignment for sure. Okay, so all I'm going to do is click and drag across. If I want to, I can hold down the shift key so that it constrains the angle to every 45 degrees. This one's pretty easy to draw out straight, but if you want that help, you can. So I'm just going to release my mouse button before I release my shift key, and there we go. I have my line straight across. Okay, I'm going to change this so that I don't want the color to be black on this line. So I'm going to just double click here on my stroke. I'm going to choose kind of a dark orange, somewhere around there. So darkish orange, something like that. My hex number is CE4805. If you want to go ahead and type that in, you don't have to, though. You can just choose a different orange color. Hit OK. I'm also going to increase the size of that stroke. So I'm going to actually bump that up all the way to 16. So I can click on the up arrow, or I can type that in to this little box right here. All right, so there we are. Now as I see mine, I did draw my horizon line kind of straight across where the bottom of my buildings were, but now I can see that it's covering everything up a little bit, so I'm going to bump that down. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my selection tool, click on that line, and use my arrow keys on my keyboard to just nudge that down so that that line is lined up with the bottom of all of my objects. And there we go. That's good. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to add 5 other elements to this drawing yourself. So what you can do is you can add some lines to this window right here. You could add another door here. You could add a window here. You could add another addition to the building. So 5 other details that you're going to add yourself. So save that when you're done and submit it in Classroom. Save it as first name, last name, lines.pdf. All right, that's it.